They always disappear on their birthday. It is your birthday. Your phone lights up. Happy birthday. Hope you have a great day. Let's celebrate sometime. Someone brings a cake. Someone says, "Make a wish." Everyone expects you to feel happy. But you do not. You feel trapped. So you disappear. Maybe you stop answering messages. Maybe you cancel the dinner. Maybe you go quiet for the whole day. And when people ask what happened, you say, "I was just busy." But that is not the full truth. For some people, a birthday is not a celebration. It is a mirror. It shows who remembered, who forgot, who only showed up because a calendar reminded them, and who is missing, even though they still wish that person was there. That is why the day feels heavy, because for some people, birthdays do not feel like love. They feel like proof. And if you disappear on your birthday, this video may explain the part of you that you usually keep hidden. Most people think birthdays are simple. You smile, you answer messages, you say thank you, you act grateful. But not everyone feels that way. For some people, a birthday creates pressure. Pressure to be happy, pressure to respond, pressure to pretend that attention feels good. Inside, they may feel exposed, disappointed, older, strangely alone, even when people are around. And the hardest part is this: they cannot explain it without sounding cold, dramatic, or ungrateful. So they do not explain. They disappear. From the outside, it may look rude, but the psychology is deeper than most people think. They are not always rejecting love. They are trying to avoid a specific kind of pain, the fear of being seen, the pain of being remembered only once a year, the pressure to look happy, and the quiet comparison between the life they have and the life they thought they would have by now. So let's look at why some people vanish on the one day everyone expects them to be present. First, it is not the birthday. It is the spotlight. Many people who disappear on their birthday do not hate birthdays. They hate what birthdays demand from them. They hate being watched. On a normal day, they can stay private. They can choose when to speak. They can decide how much of themselves to show. But on their birthday, that control disappears. People look at them. People wait for a reaction. People expect a smile, gratitude, and a happy face. That sounds harmless. But for a person who does not feel safe being seen, attention does not feel like love. It feels like pressure. They may not know how to receive kindness. They may not know what face to make when everyone sings. They may not know how happy they are supposed to look. So they feel trapped inside a moment that everyone else thinks should feel beautiful. That is why they disappear. Not because people are doing something wrong, but because the spotlight feels too bright. And once it turns on, they want only one thing: to get out of it. But the spotlight is only the surface. The deeper reason is what the birthday quietly shows them. Second, a birthday measures your life. A birthday is not just a celebration, it is a measurement. Another year is gone, and for some people, that is painful. Because a birthday forces them to look at their life, where they are, what they built, what they lost, what never happened, what they still carry. They may smile on the outside, but inside one quiet question appears. Is this where I thought I would be? Maybe they thought they would be more successful by now. Maybe they thought they would feel more peaceful. Maybe they thought their family would be different. Maybe they thought someone important would still be alive. Suddenly, the birthday does not feel like a party. It feels like a mirror. The cake is not the problem. The messages are not the problem. The number is not always the problem. The problem is what the number reminds them of. Time passed. Dreams changed. People left. Life moved in a direction they did not expect. So they leave. Not because they are dramatic, because the room is celebrating a life they may not know how to feel about yet. But birthdays do not only measure life, they also measure relationships. Third, they disappear before disappointment arrives. A birthday can reveal who really remembers you, who makes an effort, who sends a real message, who sends something empty, who forgets completely, who only appears because social media reminded them. For some people, that test feels dangerous. They say, "I do not care about birthdays." But if they truly did not care, the day would not feel so heavy. Sometimes, "I do not care" means I care too much and I do not want to be disappointed. So they avoid the test. They do not plan anything. They do not check their phone. They act like the day does not matter. Because if the day does not matter, nobody can fail them. But it is not always peace. Sometimes it is protection. They disappear first, so they do not have to feel forgotten later. They leave before the silence can hurt. Disappearing gives them control. But it can also confirm the loneliness they were trying to avoid. That is the trap. They leave to protect themselves from pain. But after leaving, they may still feel alone. Maybe the real problem is not the day. Maybe the real problem is that they never felt safe enough to want something from people. Because wanting care is risky. If you admit you want to be remembered, you can be hurt. So they pretend they need nothing, and that feels safer than admitting they wanted someone to notice. Fourth, celebration does not feel safe. For some people, celebration itself feels strange. Maybe they grew up where happy moments did not last, where praise was rare, where attention came with criticism, where good days quickly turned into conflict. When that happens, the mind learns a pattern. Do not trust good moments too much. So when people celebrate them, they do not fully relax. They wait for the other side. The awkward question. The judgment. The disappointment. The feeling that they do not deserve it. Even as adults, they may still carry that old reaction. The room may be safe now. The birthday may be normal now. People may be kind now. But the body remembers older things. So instead of enjoying the moment, they prepare for something to go wrong. For them, being alone may not feel lonely. It may feel like relief. They are not always rejecting love. They are rejecting the pressure that comes with being loved in public. Are they choosing peace? Or are they hiding from pain? Fifth, peace and hiding can look the same. Not everyone who spends a birthday alone is wounded. Some people genuinely prefer a quiet day. They do not need a party. They do not need many messages. They do not need attention to feel valued. That can be healthy. But there is a difference between choosing peace and hiding from pain. Choosing peace feels calm. Hiding from pain feels tense. Choosing peace feels like freedom. Hiding from pain feels like fear. From the outside, both can look the same. A person alone, a phone turned off, a quiet birthday. But inside, the difference is huge. One person feels grounded, the other feels invisible. So, if you disappear on your birthday, the question is not, should I force myself to celebrate? The better question is, what am I trying not to feel? Is it disappointment? Is it age? Is it comparison? Is it old memories? Is it the fear of being seen? Is it the pain of being remembered only once a year? Once you know the real reason, you get more control. You can still keep your birthday quiet. But now it is a choice, not a wound making the choice for you. You do not have to love birthdays. You do not have to answer every message. You do not have to explain yourself to everyone. You do not have to perform happiness. But you also do not have to disappear just to feel safe. Maybe the healthiest birthday is not loud. Maybe it is honest. A day where you let yourself feel what the date actually brings up. Because sometimes the problem is not that people disappear. The problem is that no one ever asked why they needed to. So if you disappear on your birthday, maybe there is nothing wrong with you. Maybe your mind is trying to protect you from attention, disappointment, comparison, or old emotional pain. But protection can become a prison if you never question it. You do not have to celebrate loudly. You do not have to let everyone in. But you do deserve to understand yourself. Because the person who leaves first is not always rejecting love. Sometimes they are waiting to feel safe enough to receive it. This is the if verse, where even the quietest escape has a reason. Subscribe. There's so much more to explore. Thank you for watching.